Hey guys, welcome to the next channel. So quite a few days ago I shot various episodes on some of the most commonly used Linux networking commands like ping as well as ifconfig and stuff like that. So ping is a part of a tool called IPutils. So I discussed the basic overview of the source code of IPutils as well as this ping command, and right after that I have also put this architecture of ping source code in my Google Drive, and I exported the same, and then I have also discussed about the same in the other episode. So similarly I have also shot a video on NetTools ifconfig command, because we so much frequently use ifconfig command. Essentially the ifconfig is the user space part of getting the port information of the kernel's net device data structure. In case if you are interested to know and learn the networking part of Linux networking subsystem, I highly recommend you to go through my old videos which I have shot so many videos on each data structure, and also as a part of entire networking subsystem. So in case if you are interested, you can go through my video series on networking subsystem. As you can see here, there are so many episodes I have covered. There are almost 7 episodes on the same, and in case if you are interested on port data structure, networking port data structures like net device data structure, you can go through the net device data structure series. Even in this series I have shot various episodes. You can see here the last episode is episode 6, and then you can see here I have also discussed my sample source code and also discussed the kernel source code as a part of the same, and apart from that the escape data structure and stuff like that. So today what we can do is there is also an interesting command in NetTools, which is the ARP command. So as you can see here, we can discuss the source code of the ARP. We can go through a quick overview, and in my upcoming episode I will cover the detailed architecture of the same, and I'm also going to do a Google drawing so that we have that API flow and the hierarchy of these APIs within this ARP command implementation. So same thing I should also do with for ifconfig command. I have not yet covered. Maybe sometime in the future I may cover both ifconfig as well as ARP as well. So let us just discuss the overview of ARP command, because ARP is quite interesting. This is quite interesting as compared to ping and ifconfig, because in the case of ARP, you should understand ARP is always a bridge between layer 2 and layer 3. Why there is an existence of layer 3 or network layer, although you have an addressing mechanism with hardware ports? You should understand anytime if you dig down, if you want to get that big picture of networking architecture. So you may start in the college, you may start with OSI layers, and then they discuss various layers, why they exist. You should always understand these layers are optional. The most important layers in a networking stack or network architecture is a physical layer. Obviously you need a physical hardware, and then right after that you need the most important part is a data link layer, because this is where the actual hardware addressing starts, or addressing of this ports start. So in the case of Ethernet, you have the hardware address, which is the MAC address, which is built into the hardware firmware of each NIC card. And in the case of serial peer-to-peer links, so you need something like a peer-to-peer broadcast address. So in that case always it communicates via broadcast address, like FFFFF. So if you have any sort of peer-to-peer communication happening, it can be a mesh network or something like that, it will not have any hardware address. Instead it will have some sort of PPP addressing mechanism. So let's get back to the ARP command. It is quite interesting. You have one side is this user space part. So in the user space part you have two options. You can get the ARP table via ARP command, or you can also pull the ARP table via proc interface. So you can see here, this is the proc interface. You have this, I am currently in proc net folder. So you can do cat ARP So you can see here it has populated this ARP table, and this ARP table is going to exist in the kernel space as a part of kernel networking subsystem. So you can see here, this way you can pull the ARP table. The other way is you can also use the ARP command. So this is through the ARP command, and the implementation of the ARP command is over here as a part of NetTools project or the stack. So as you can see here, this is the source code. So if you go back here, you can see this works through this command. So since it is implemented through the same, you can type various options. As you can see here, it displays also various options. The most interesting part of ARP command is you can also manually add any entries. You can also remove any existing entries. These entries are created as the way the system communicates in the local area network. Please understand, this is for beginners. As you learn networking, you will know that every device or host will have some IP address associated with its network interface card. So that doesn't mean if you ping from my system to a remote Google server or a Facebook server, don't expect you to get the MAC address of that NIC card of Facebook server. So it doesn't happen. The hardware addressing happens within your LAN, and then you have something called as NATing happening with respect to your basic home networks. So after it crosses your router, it is going to again have that sort of peer-to-peer sort of communication. So this is the reason MAC address always changes once it hops from one network subnet to the other network subnet. So this is what it is. So you can see, if you ping to a remote Google server, if you capture it in Wireshark, you are going to have MAC address of your router instead of some MAC address of your remote Google server. So whereas in the case of IP layer or the network layer, you are going to have the end-to-end communication from your system to all the way to the remote public IP of your Google server. But once it crosses your home Wi-Fi router, it is going to do NATing, and in case if they have assigned any public IP, it is going to show for those remote Google or Facebook servers as your public IP, not necessarily your private IP. So this is what exactly happens. So it is a big thing. As you understand more about network basics, you will understand these parts. So this is one side is the networking part, the other side is the coding part. So let us just discuss both the networking side as well as coding side, as I do with all my videos. So since it has two parts, what we can do is we can also go through quickly where exactly the ARP stuff comes in under networking subsystem of kernel source. So you can see here, this is the kernel source. We can go to net. So you have mainly these two, these folders. One of them, the most important thing is core folder. So in this folder, essentially what happens is, this is the folder, whatever the files are, they are mostly dealing with anything right above device drivers, even before it gets into any specific network stack like IPv4, IPv6 and stuff like that. So I don't think so you can get much over here, especially this context, because it is strictly IPv4 to layer 2. As I say, ARP is a sort of bridge between layer 2 and IPv4 stack. So if you go down, you have this IPv4 folder. You can see here, this is the reason it has this arc.c. So this has the kernel implementation of the same. So sometime down the lane, I may shoot a video on various data structures involved with respect to managing this ARP table, whatever you get over here as a part of displaying the ARP table. So I may discuss the data structure, the struct. Actually it is holding these entries as a part of linked list inside the kernel context. So if you go back here, it has this thing. So what I may do is, sometime down the lane in the future, I may take an episode as a part of networking subsystem. So there are various things. I can create a new playlist in YouTube stating that this is about ARP in networking subsystem, or just like I have short videos on net device data structure and SK buff data structure, IP header, UDP header, TCP header and stuff like that. Or I can also do is include it as a part of networking subsystem, so that if it is not much to discuss, we can just include within the same. So I'm generally giving an idea. If you are a beginner to my channel, in which way you can browse through various videos. So don't unnecessarily waste your time going through my YouTube channel, and I don't mind if you don't subscribe, I don't mind if you don't like my videos. Even recently I have even disabled my comments, and I have put across a video why I am disabling the comments and ratings in the video. So it doesn't matter, it is not a good way to navigate inside YouTube. Just jump over to my website, and what you do is go to the videos, and you have all these things categorized. I have categorized so that it is very easy. If you are a working professional, don't waste your time going through all other videos which is not really important. You may know already whatever I have discussed. If you are a student, maybe you can go through some basics and then you can come across various other topics. But if you are a working professional, don't waste your time spending in YouTube channel, or don't waste your time going through various playlists. Just hop on to my website. I have categorized everything in a nice way. This is the proper interface. With this, you can select what topic you want, you can select what video you want to watch, so that it can clarify your doubts. Or if you're in a casual mode, you want to learn various things, then you can start from basics, from episode 1, and then down the line you can go through all the episodes of a specific subject or a topic. So in case if in your office or in your country, if YouTube is blocked, don't worry, you can go to the video index. I'm sorry, I have started some time ago also parallelly hosting my videos in Dailymotion, or publishing my videos in Dailymotion. You can watch it in Dailymotion, or if it is also not working, in some cases I have also uploaded in Google Drive. Also I have uploaded in my wife's website. So you can actually download as a part of HTTP download itself, and you can watch it offline. So this is the convenience you get. So same thing in case if you go through any of my other videos, again you have these options. You can see here it has this download or watch in other ways. So this way you can navigate and you can watch. The reason I'm kind of highlighting in this episode is when you watch this ARP, also you have the other parts. How can I ignore the kernel part? How can I only discuss with the user space source? So that's why I'm just highlighting the same. So you can see here it has this ARP implementation. So essentially once you hop on to the ARP command user space part, so you can use your common sense. Okay, somewhere down the lane with IOCTLs or some kind of interface, it is going to get this it is going to traverse that kernel's linked list, and it is going to get this nodes, and then it is going to display on the screen. That's what it is. So that's what it is going to do. So I'm sorry. So if you go through, you can see it has various APIs. One is ARP delete. Let us just ignore whatever it is, each and every line. As I discussed all my videos, the idea is not wasting time on every line how they have implemented. As you go through slowly deeper down, you will understand what exactly it is. So it is just like flight landing on an airport. As the way it tries getting a sweet spot, and as the way it lands, you can see small things, you get that big picture, and you can see everything is very small. As the way it lands, you can start getting more details. So this is what is the approach I take in my all the videos. So if you go here, it has all this interesting APIs. One is delete ARP, and then you have ARP get hardware address. In these cases, you can see here it is using this IOCTL APIs communication, so that it communicates with the kernel, and then it does whatever it is requested to do. So and then down, if you scroll down, you have this ARP file, and then you have this ARP display and ARP display, because it is displaying with different options you give in the command line, it is displaying in various other ways. So apart from that, you have this usage. So every time you do ARP ---- help, this is what essentially is showed, and you have this corresponding API over here. And once you scroll down, and if you go to the main API, you can see here it is doing various other checks with the command line options you provide with ARP command, and it is taking a necessary action based on the options you provide. So you can see here what is the default is ARP show, and based on various other options it is displaying or it is calling those corresponding APIs. So that's what it is. So what I do is, in my upcoming episode I'm going to discuss more in depth, and also going to create Google drawing with this architectural flow of APIs. So as a beginner it is going to be very useful how you can do a code walk, how you can understand an existing code using these techniques. You can also do with respect to your projects, whatever you work. In case you have started your career just recently, you just take these techniques, adopt it to your work, and then you can get whatever you are looking for. So thank you very much for watching this video. In case you want to communicate with me, send an email across. As I discussed earlier, I have disabled all the YouTube comments. I really don't care. I just get sometimes some sort of racist comments saying that about various other things. I'm really not interested. If you're really into reaching me, just send me an email across. Okay. So thank you once again for watching this video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.